Ramsuratkumar ki
Jai.
Sarvam Yogi Ramsuratkumar Arpanastu. Today evening, again, we have been able to sing Bhagavan's powerful Nama for 1 more hour, right in the presence of Bhagavan, in his shrine. We have been seeing Leela after Leela after Leela of the divinity that is Yogi Ramsuratkumar. I do not know about you, but I have been enjoying recalling all those experiences lived by the devotees, by reliving them ourselves. It gives not only immense ananda, it also gives power and energy. It is sadhana as prescribed by Bhagwan. Now today we shall see a few drops from the ocean of his Leelas. Sri Lakshmana Chettiar and his wife Valliammai Aachi, been devotees of Bhagwan for a long time now. From the middle 70s. And when Bhagwan shifted from Sannadhi Street to Sudama and the ashram started, they prayed to Bhagwan to be allowed to stay around the ashram so that they could have darshan of Bhagwan every day. Sri Lakshmana Chettiar has written a book of his experiences with Bhagwan. One particular incident I had not heard before is Bhagwan's Sannadhi Street house. And the next door must have been one house before, but somehow it was partitioned and this portion of Bhagwan was bought. This portion of Sannadhi Street house was bought for Bhagwan. So there is a well there behind, and the well was also divided. One part of the well is for the neighbor, this part of the well is for Bhagwan. One day, Bhagwan heard a huge thud, as though somebody, and then the splash of water. It looked as though somebody had fallen into the well. Of course, Bhagwan would know instantly what was happening. Immediately, he got up, he came out, he shouted from the threshold of the house. Up there in the chariot mandap was Perumal, his then attendant. So Bhagwan was shouting, Perumal, Perumal, come fast and bring a ladder. Bhagwan said that someone had fallen into the well, bring a ladder. And immediately Perumal secured a ladder, and then it was put in the well, and the man who had fallen inside was struggling to come out and was unable to do it. But as soon as he saw this ladder descending, he held on to it tightly and started to climb. And within minutes, he was out. It was as simple as that. Can you imagine somebody falling into the well and immediately a ladder being brought and a person climbing up easily, coming out? To many of us, this idea would not have occurred at all, but Bhagwan was always practical, and he rescued people in accordance with the circumstances, situation, the surroundings, the resources available at hand. What a way to bring out a man without wasting any time. I was absolutely delighted, surprised and delighted to hear this. We all remember another incident, another story which is very popular, and many people, many devotees have already known that. That is a horse falling into a well, and Bhagwan on his way from the Punnai tree to the town, he knew even at a distance that it had fallen and was struggling. And where would they go for ladder? At that time, Bhagwan stopped them and said, there is a horse in the well. And all that he did at that time was go round and round the well, shouting, Shri Rama, Jai Rama, Jai Jai Rama. And within minutes, the horse by itself, without any ladder, it came out, jumped and went away, ran away. To the delight and surprise of everyone around. Sri Lakshmana Chettiar describes in his book another incident which is once again a revelation to many people, a teaching lesson. Once his wife, Valliammai Aachi, fell sick. She was fainting often, to the dismay, to the shock of the people around. And then they wanted to admit her in the hospital, but then she said very strictly, please let me go to Swami. Please take me to Swami. I will take any medicine only after see him. She insisted. So they took her. And they had taken some snacks. They are sweet balls. And when they were offered to Swami, because Aachi, Valliammai Aachi had made it with great devotion. In fact, Lakshmana Chettiar had his own misgivings. He even warned her, why do you make so many? Swami would not take at all. If he took, it would be very little. But somehow, she made it, and then they brought it, and Bhagwan had 2 full balls of the sweet. And what was more, he gave one to her to eat. She ate half of it and held the rest in her hand. She was hesitant. Then Bhagwan said, why do you hesitate? You eat it. It is ParaMa Oushadam. It is the supreme medicine. She was hesitating because at that time the sickness demanded that she should not take any sweet. But here Swami was giving a sweet ball to eat. But now Swami said, it is the supreme medicine, ParaMa Oushadam. And then she consumed it, and Bhagavan gave her one more ball, which she consumed again. And then Bhagavan declared, oh, there is nothing wrong with her, she is all right, she is completely all right. There is nothing wrong with Valliammai Aachi. But Sri Chettiar had his own doubts about it. Okay, Swami is saying, Swami has given blessings, but we have to see a doctor also, get it checked up, confirm it. So he was asking rather hesitantly, Swami, can we go see a doctor also and had some checkup? Swami said, oh, the doctors, they are all very well read, learned people. Take them, take Aachi to them, take their advice. So Lakshmana Chettiar immediately arranged for Aachi to be taken, that is his wife, to be taken to Chennai. She was admitted in the Isabella hospital, and then all the tests were done, only to reveal finally there was nothing wrong with her. What was more, the doctor exclaimed, saying, why did you admit her here? What is wrong with her? There's nothing wrong with her. Everything is normal. And then Sri Lakshmana Chettiar realized that Swami had spoken the truth. There was absolutely no need at all for a doctor. The doctor of doctors had declared. So where was the necessity to go to a medical doctor? Of course, he writes there in the book that it revealed the truth of whatever Bhagwan said, and then he felt very apologetic. He felt very bad, despite Bhagwan saying that he took her to the hospital. This has happened to many people. In fact, we all know another incident which I have shared with people. Once Ganesh Anna of Ramana Ashram and Sri Ilaiyaraja had gone to Bhagwan because Sri Ganesh Anna had visited Bhagwan a few days before, and for his low BP, Bhagwan had suggested a cup of milk, a cup of buttermilk. He said, Ganesha, take a cup of buttermilk every day, you will be all right. After hearing this, Sri Ilaiyaraja also wanted to go to Swami because he had high BP. So when they went there, Swami said, oh, high BP, he can have a cup of buttermilk. Sri Ilaiyaraja thought Swami did not hear it properly because he had prescribed that for low BP. Now his problem is high BP, and Swami was prescribing the same thing. So he thought probably Bhagwan did not hear it properly, and he pushed Ganesh Anna to repeat it again, a little more loudly this time. Many people know the story. Of course, another time, second time also, Swami said, okay, he can have a cup of buttermilk. And again, they had doubts whether Bhagwan heard it right. And the third time, a little more loudly, Ganesh Anna repeated, Swami, he has high BP. Oh, he can have a cup of buttermilk then. And then Swami knew, because he was playing a leela, and then he laughed and said, Ganesha, it is not in the buttermilk. So it is not in the sweet ball or buttermilk. It is in their sankalpa. It is in their word. It is their power that cures. It is their word, a look from them, a word from them, a touch from them. And anything that's available would become an instrument in their hands and do the thing, do the needful. So this is what we have been repeatedly seeing. Once I was asking Bhagwan, because I was curious, when some people came, Bhagwan would cure them instantly, no matter how terrible the disease was, be it a TB or cancer. And then he would say immediately, you are all right now, you have nothing to worry. And with some people, he would say, please see a doctor. Whatever treatment you take, my Father's blessings. Then I became very curious and I asked him, why is that? You bless some people directly and say that they are all right, and some people you ask to go to a doctor. Bhagwan said, when people come here, they come with different types of faith. Some people come here with faith in this beggar, and some people come here with faith in the doctor. Accordingly, this beggar prescribes. In any case, in both the cases, there will be Father's blessings. There is nothing to worry. Just like the neighbor falling into the well and a horse falling into a well. A third incident is in Sudama. One day I was cooking. We had a very small room. We had rented out a small room for kitchen and an adjacent room and then a toilet. And the small room, which is kitchen, was always dark, especially when there was no electricity. It would be very dark. We would light a candle or something and keep it in a corner and do the cooking. So that day I finished cooking. We used to have a big pot, a mud pot for water. So I took water from the mud pot, finished my cooking and packed some for Bhagwan also. And just before I left, I wanted to have a cup of water. So when I opened, the lights had come. I saw a frog inside. I felt very disgusted. I was thinking, my God, I have used this water for cooking. Now I have completed my cooking. I have got this food also ready for Bhagwan. And now I have found this. What can I do? So I hastily let the frog out and then rushed to Bhagwan with the carrier. And there were people, many people coming in and going out. So somehow I managed in between to convey to him that there was a frog in the pot and I had used that water for cooking. So I did not know whether to serve that food, whether to eat that food, whether it is worthy of eating. Bhagwan asked me immediately a very practical question. He said, was the frog alive or dead? I said, the frog was alive. Then don't worry, you can eat, I can eat, there's nothing to worry about. And then only it struck me, of course, haven't we seen frogs in the rivers? We have seen all kinds of creatures in the rivers, in the well. Well also there will be many frogs. And then we draw the well and drink from that. So why did I have this doubt? Just because it was found in that. The mind, being what it is, a trickster, it would raise such doubts unnecessarily, but Bhagwan always gave a very clean and practical suggestions. Now, why I am saying all this? Bhagwan, whose look can be a supreme medicine, whose word can be a supreme medicine, whose touch can be a supreme medicine for all ills of the body and mind. Now that Bhagwan is right in front of us. There are many, ever so many stories where how Bhagwan had cured people with just an apple or a dry gooseberry or just simply water. Now that Bhagwan is right in front of us, who could effortlessly cure people. Now today's world is in the grip of this terrible virus. And everywhere there is COVID scare. And what's more, many people are getting sick out of fear. This fear seems to be ruling the whole world now. And of course the disease and death. So we shall appeal to that Bhagwan who could cure many people by just mere look.